Alright, ladies and gentlemen, FABS in the house, and welcome back to the channel. I'm here with this set of tools, parts, and I'll be going to assemble this cone with this lens and all these parts to make it happen. Yeah, this is the Fujinon 400mm. That's gonna go on the cone for the Horseman SW617. So my voice is a little bit low today, so excuse me for that. But let's go ahead. I'll go slow, I'll take it easy, and I'll just enjoy this process as I'm gonna share it with you, because it's a very special moment for me. So let's go ahead. This is the Fujinon 400mm f8 that it's going to go to get disassembled. So that's the rear element that I need to take off, because we need to remove it from the lean-off board. I got a lens wrench over here, removing the caps. You adjust for the right width and then tighten it down, and then like so. To remove the retaining ring, which we're going to be using later. So this is the lean-off board that comes off. Here we have the lens front element mounted on this copal shutter. Right now we're gonna have to mount this onto the helicoid, and we have to align it to the infinite, to the central sorry, mark, so that from the top we see this. So it's gonna be something like so. So we want to align with the 22. So it's gonna be, I'll be doing like from this angle over here. So like so. I'll check exactly. So now this has to be centered like so, and I need some tweezers, which I have somewhere over the rainbow. Just to place this down, I'm just gonna tighten it with my hands first. Try not to knock down, to move anything, because we want this to be quite centered. So here I need to readjust a little bit, like so. There we go. So I can tighten this down. So doing this operation, I need to really tighten this down properly, because then there's another adapter, extension ring, which has to go on top of this, which is going to prevent me to redo this operation. So I need to make sure that this is nice and tight. It's pretty centered. I'm just going to give it a little extra nudge. just in case. Like so. There we go. Nice and tight. Next up is the rear element that I'm gonna do. It's a little tricky to do because my hands are big, so I don't want to damage anything. So I'm not really sure on how to make this guy descend onto that without dropping it, because my hands are big and the opening is not as big. So let me think about something, how to lower this guy. It's going to be a little tricky, and I don't wanna Okay, so I wrapped the tip of these pliers in Teflon, and I'm trying to no, there's no grip. Ah, yeah, now it works. There you go. So now this is in. Now I can slowly screw it in. There we go. So that was unexpected, but I think we came up with a pretty cool solution, not to damage anything, and to have this rear element installed. So now looks like we are in business. I will give it a little extra tug through this other ring, just like so. All right, so we should be good to install this other ring like so. There we go. And then we have to install this other ring like that, but one at a time. So now it's quite delicate because we have these tiny screws that have to go like so, and I might be able actually to have the 4 of them. If you can see, they're going like there. In each of the 4 holes. I think it's it might be tedious for some, but for me this is it's kind of like a form of meditation. Now I'm just going to line these up, and actually I'm using this tiny one just to have the 4 catching a little bit, so I can safely release the adapter without anything falling inside, and just keeping, applying pressure, because we don't want to strip anything, as these are quite long screws. You can skip ahead. I will not speed up this video because there's no rush. This is not a fast food TikTok short. This is slow food, Italian restaurant kind of thing. And when we are here doing this, we want to enjoy the process. Some people might find it tedious. I find it very relaxing. I've always been fascinated by the mechanics and the optics, how things work. I'm not tightening all the way down yet. I just want them to be screwed in, and keep applying pressure. And that's the last one. So I'm feeling okay, some resistance already. So this is very crucial, because being at an angle, you have to apply pressure as you tighten. Otherwise you're gonna strip those screws, because these are tiny. Okay, so now I'm gonna go around and give it an extra tug. So one is done. This is also done. 2 down. That's the third one. Like so. And the last one, guys. So the first let me double check that everything is correctly tightened down. Here we go. So now, next step is going to be this outer ring, like so, with the cone. So we have to make sure this is correct, that is correct, and we need to make sure that the orientation is right. Okay, so because this is gonna be, this is solid, because this is gonna be the front part, like so. This is gonna be the bottom. As you can see, there's the bottom that's gonna go there. So that's 1, and that is 2. So now it's going to be a little bit tricky for you to see, but I'm going to move some of the stuff around. So you can enjoy this as I'm doing it, okay? So I gotta line up these bad boys, and then I gotta use these 4 screws with the tweezers. This is gonna be the trickiest part. So you see there's some holes down there. And I have to do this operation. Maybe I can do it like from inside. It's very hard to do this in favor of the camera, but let me show you. What am I doing? So here I'm going from the inside. You see? I'm having the screw inserted. There we go. So next step that I will do is probably line this up over here. With this bad boy. Right, we got this. We got this. Fab, you got this. And this is it. So now I gotta find the hole. Which I'm not finding it. Let me see if I can move the light. I just need to find one, which I did. And now I should be able to line everything up. If I find 2, yes, I found 2, guys. So let me flip this bad boy around. As you can see, the inside has been lined with a velvet layer. The idea is to paint it Vanta black, but it would have been a little bit too expensive. I mean, not that this was cheap by any means, but I have to say that ALVANDI made a pretty spectacular job. It was a very nice process. You probably saw the other video where he shared some of the process that he went through. So these 2 are tight. Let me give it an extra tug. Happy that I have this long screwdriver. It's a 2.5 millimeter Phillips with a WIHA anti-static driver. There we go. Guys, the cone is installed and feels pretty solid, I have to say. Focusing is extra long. you see you have the second row probably gets down to 3 meters, which I'm very, very excited about. So now it's time, first of all, to install the back plate to have it protected. So nothing goes in. Okay. So this we won't need again. This we don't need again. This is also part of the past. And now we just need to install the lens guard, which is gonna go like so. So there's 4 screws going on over here. And this, oh, sorry. We need the 2 spacers first, which I believe there's no particular orientation. One is going to go like that. The other is going to go like so. And there's 4 screws which are going on the base of the lens protector or lens guard, like so. We opted for a wider base because of the weight of the whole element is pretty massive. I would say we're talking about 6 pounds or 3 kilograms, around that. So this is like playing with Lego, but for adults. I hope this is gonna be able to go inside. I think so. So there's no washers in this for this lens guard, but I think it's gonna be all right. This is all anodized, black anodized aluminum. So relatively light, but still pretty heavy. There you go. So this is tightened down. I'm gonna do also the plate over here. This is Arca Swiss plate. Which is matching. Oh, yeah, sorry, just the wrong wrench. Matches perfectly the profile. Here we go. So now we only have left the front of the guard. Let me just clear up a little bit the table from the tools. ALVANDI. This is gonna go like so. So in order for me to do that, I'm just gonna go Let's put it like this, upside down. And we need these 2 extra screws. From the bottom. And actually, I have to line them up later. So, something like so. And like that. I believe that's the key. Right? Yeah. Can do by hand, maybe a little quicker. Yeah, because of the okay, I'm gonna wait for the extra and final tug. If you stayed up to this point without skipping, guys, you are the best, because it means you understand and you enjoy slow food. Here we go. This is it. That is the assembled beast. So now, the next step is going to be just to try and mount it on the camera, right? And see how it looks. So let's see, do we have the right camera? Yeah, we do. So we got this okay, I got this bad boy ready to receive. You might ask, what is this? Well, that's a little extra part that I've added to add a light meter or some accessories. It's like a cold shoe. So this goes away. And now, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. Seeing this beast mounted. Oh, and by the way, let's do things by the book, because this is not the proper finder, right? We've got the right finder somewhere over the rainbow, under the rainbow. Where is it? It's somewhere in my bag, probably. Anyways, let's pretend this is the 400mm finder. Tighten too much, so yeah. There we go. Now we can finally say that the beast is assembled. This is the Horseman SW617 with an ALVANDI custom cone with the 400 millimeter Fujinon EBC F8T. Look at this. How cool is this? I'm happy. The next step is to try it out, check the focus and do everything, but this is gonna be for another video or another date. Maybe, you know, something that could be interesting, it would be to compare it with the 250 millimeter and see how they differ. Let me see if I can fit them. Probably not in the frame, but definitely it's a bigger boy. Oh yeah, baby, look at this. That's a pretty spectacular view you don't see often. So let's see, lined up they are like this, so you see the difference in length of the two cones and everything. So I am looking forward to try this beast in the field. As you can see, there's a nice neck strap, which probably, you know, it's not gonna work with this. You need a tripod, you need a ground glass, you need a little bit of time to take pictures with this bad boy, but still, this is ready to go, guys, and I'm very excited to try it out and share some of the results with you. And this is it. This is how you put together a Fujinon on a ALVANDI custom cone for a Horseman SW617. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned.